Greetings and welcome to this new tutorial-based series of learning, building, discovering, unveiling of secrets, experimenting, laughing and exploding. Plenty of that last one mentioned, and possibly the one before that. We are currently in the workshop on my main world where most of these tutorials will be held. And because these videos will be quite short, I will be limited on what to say, so I intend to cram in as much as possible for you all. With that, let's get this vid on a roll! So, recently I found by accident a way to kill mobs that I have not seen before, and when I had a look around to see if anybody else had already discovered this, there were none. Nothing matched what I had not long discovered. Excitingly for you guys, it is about to be unveiled. And here it is. The ultimate way to kill mobs via minecart. Haven't given it a proper name yet, I think I haven't got the right to do that, but what I'm about to teach you will essentially turn minecarts into blades. As you can see, we've done a fair bit of testing and there's quite a bit of blood and gore, but basically I think we're about ready, so let's clear this. And let's build! So the materials you are going to need for this build are at least 3 powered rails, 1 dispenser, at least 2 levers, minecarts, as many minecarts as you can possibly muster up, and any block of your choice here, as long as it's just a normal block, a couple of blocks, that should do fine, and everything after this is just extras that'll just make the build go by a little bit quicker, at least 4 redstone, pieces of redstone, and 1 redstone comparator. So let's start with the normal blocks. Place a block there, and up here. And then place one just over the corner here. And that little gap we just made, put a dispenser facing upwards in it. And then put the powered rails down. Then put a lever on the right-hand side of the contraption. And it should turn on and off the powered rails. Now that's pretty much finished. But this little bit I'm doing here will just make it a little bit easier for placing the minecarts. Arrange the blocks as shown. Put a lever on the block furthest to the top, put a comparator facing out of that block, arrange the redstone as I'm doing here, and then turn on the comparator. And so when we flick this lever, it should give us a special timer. If we turn it on, it will turn on and off the circuit on and off very quickly. Now let's put in the minecarts. So let's open up the dispenser. And as you can see, I've got some minecarts. So let's drop in some minecarts into the dispenser then. So after you've got the amount you want, go over to the timer, if you choose to build it, and turn it on. And it will turn on and off the dispenser very, very quickly. And will make it throw out its items very quickly. In this case, the minecarts. So drop in the rest of the minecarts. And as you've noticed, it looks like that only one has been spawned. Well, there's a good reason for that. For example, if we were to just place a minecart on a bit of track like this, manually, and if we place another one, shove it along, it'll just sort of bounce off the minecarts as if it was just a normal thing to do. Under certain circumstances, that won't be the case. If we look in this dispenser and drop in some minecarts, and make sure the dispenser is facing upwards, we will notice that when it dispenses the minecarts, and we check in here, definitely all of them have been dispensed, but you notice it just looks like one. It's because they're all merged together, it looks like one, but there physically is still 3 there. If we go and shove them, something weird will happen where they'll eventually all sort of splodge out and they won't come back together again. So if it looks like just one has been spawned, and you put in like 50, don't worry, it's because the 50 minecarts that you put in have all merged together as one. I hope that makes sense. Now, if you remember, I individually put in the minecarts into the dispenser earlier, kind of like one by one into the dispenser. But if you're privileged to be in creative mode, you can use code. So open up the code bar at the bottom by putting in / and then put in give AP Minecraft with the 2 little dots minecart 64, 64 being the maximum you can order, and if you press enter it will instantly give you 64 stacked minecarts in your inventory. How cool is that? So if we go over to the dispenser, put them in, or actually turn on the timer first and then drop them in, you'll notice that they'll go down very quickly. That timer does do wonders. Turn off the timer and go over to the lever on the right, and it will trigger them like little lasers going backwards and forwards. So now you can get rid of that timer you made earlier, and you can start filling it in around your house, around your base. You could put it in this security system in your farm, well, if you have a farm. Basically anywhere that you want a little bit of security from mob spawning. I'm just making a quick little hut here, just to give a little bit of demonstration and inspire you to put it wherever you want. So basically the idea is that you could come home from a busy day out doing stuff, and then you can come in and turn on your security system in front of your house, and it will protect you from mobs. Now you're probably wondering why moving carts backwards and forwards merged together with loads of other minecarts would save you from mobs. Well, I'm going to explain it to you. For example, if a mob is on the track, in this case a pig, when a cart comes hurtling towards it, the cart will literally scoop up the mob like that, and will catch the mob with it, in this case the pig, and the pig is now permanently in the minecart until the minecart breaks. This will also apply for hostile mobs as well. If we put a husk on the railway lines, we will see that the minecart will scoop it up. Also, there is a little problem where sometimes the mob will actually just sit in front of the minecart and won't get scooped up by it and will ruin everything, so just be aware of that. Now it is time for these minecarts to give their all. I made a few changes while you were not looking, but this is still going to behave the same way. So the first test is going to see how these minecarts obviously cope with mobs. I'm going to spawn a Vindicator just in front of the minecarts and see its attempts to get to the villagers on the other side. Oh, come on, we need some kind of lure so they have a reason to cross the minecarts, so, well, the whole idea is that the villagers should be alright. Hopefully. So, here it goes. Ready? Go! Whoa, he went for those villagers like a ravenous piranha, with an axe and the strength of 3 husks, and yet was defeated by minecarts that had the power of 10 enchanted diamond swords. Now that's all well and good, but that was a bit one-sided fight, wasn't it? So, let's give it some more competition by seeing if it can cope with a bombardment of Vindicators at one time. Didn't see that coming, did you, minecarts? Well, I've got a spawner here with the timer ready, so let's get ready to rumble. Go! Well, I guess that demonstration brought Vindicators down in flames. 1 up for minecarts, but I discovered there was another way that these minecarts could attack mobs. Test number 2. Before, there was only 1 merging of minecarts, whereas now there's 3 mergings, so it's going to introduce a different way of attacking the mobs. So here we go. Let's start the timer up again and go! No, the music stopped. Quick, replay. Come on, press. Yep, there we go. I guess this is 2 up for minecarts now, so, right, the final test isn't going to involve players encountering the minecart, i.e. myself. Okay, I've got some armour on that I can, put on me now, there we go, and I've got some, totems of undying, just to see how long I survive. And also I've got some golden apples as well. So let's do this. Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, here we go. Ow. I am feeling some form of pain. Oh, it's dropping my heart very fast. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, that means I've already died. It means I've died twice. It means I've died 3 times. Oh no! 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 Yeah. Yes. As you've noticed, it also says in the corners of the screen, it says, I was killed because I was squished too much. So that's what happened to the bad guys. The bad guys got squished to death because of all the minecarts. Well, that concludes the ultimate way to kill mobs with minecarts. But I think it's about time that we discuss what the pros and cons of this build are. I think that would be best to tell you. Let's start off with the pros. The pros are, firstly, it will be able to catch normal mobs. When I mean normal, I don't mean it will be able to catch the Ender Dragon, for example, but anything like from pegs to zombies, from chickens to husks. Basically, any normal mob will do fine. Secondly, it has a high success rate. If you do it into the design I've taught you and just use the ideas that I've taught you, it should have a high success rate. And thirdly, it's a brilliant way for squishing your opponents if they land in it, because we've been using it as security, but it could be used as traps. Think about that. So, that's the pros, but now here comes the cons. Evidently, this took a lot of materials to make this contraption. Minecarts involve a lot of iron ingots, and iron ingots are kind of rare to have, so this is a very expensive contraption to make, so that's a big downer to make this in like survival mode, for example. Secondly, normal foes, i.e. like zombies and husks, will try to avoid the minecarts if they're going backwards and forwards. I mean, like you saw earlier, all those Vindicators, I edited a bit of code in them that makes them go crazy for the villagers, so it was a bit of a cheat there, but basically any normal foes and mobs won't like crossing the minecarts, so they just sort of loiter in front of it at the edge of the rails so that they don't go in, so it's a really annoying thing. You have to kind of shove them to get them in, so that's a problem. Thirdly, glitches. Sometimes the mobs will actually get across and get to the other side unharmed. This can sometimes happen if all the carts seem to shove to one side through a glitch, and it gives a pathway for the mobs to come through. So sadly that is a case where sometimes it won't always work. So fourthly, it's to do with players. Unlike normal mobs, where if they get scooped up by the minecart if it's ramming into them, players can only manually get into the minecart by pressing right click on the mouse button if you are playing on PC. So that means that that trap doesn't really work anymore because it requires the player to get in the minecart, not the minecart getting the player in. Although I did actually get hurt and got killed in the end, it meant that in that time a player could have gone, oh, I need to get out of the cart and get out before they die. So although you get hurt, it's not a very effective way of defending your home or a trap. So sadly that is a problem there. So that's pretty much the pros and cons. I know there were more cons than pros here, but this contraption after all does run on glitches. But come on, this is not how it should end. True, it has some problems, problems in the contraption itself, and problems in the one who made it, but that does not mean that this must be scrapped. Play around with it yourself and recreate the minecart madness in your own world. Well, that's pretty much concludes this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you've learned something from it and inspires you to increase your depths in Minecraft. Again, thank you for watching this video, and hope to see you all very soon. Goodbye!